we expanded. I had one time 30,000 head of cattle, thousands of horses, mares, fillies, colts. I was just blessed with all this. But the only reason I was blessed with so much is because my vaqueros were cowboys. They were Indians from the local tribes in this area. They worked for me. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had this great expansion. Today, you probably think it's too much. It was too much for one man to have. But a lot of people benefited from it. Some might disagree, some might not. But I have to give a lot of credit to my Indian vaqueros.
You know, Sergeant, I must say I'd like to add to that because you see, Sergeant, please help me out again. I know, but it's not. Oh, it's better. Oh, it's good, huh? Well, you know, he brings up the point about the cattle. So many cattle were in this part of Southern California. 30,000 here. San Gabriel Valley, over 40,000 head of cattle. That's a lot of cows, isn't it, huh? And it's a lot of manure too, huh?
It's good to fertilize the farm.
It is. It's good for making the bricks, and it's good for everything in the soil. It's good for the culture out here.
But that was part of the medication.
Yes.
That's anybody wondering.
In my leg.
See.
I see now. I'm glad I didn't know that before. But we missionaries, we have a concern for the souls of the people here, and particularly the soldiers and the people that are under our command. And Sergeant Dominguez, very good man, but he is always out here on his rancho. He's either at his rancho or he's over on the mission. He's having fun and drinking a lot, but he's always dedicated to protecting the mission. But I think that he's spending way too much time on his rancho alone. Yes, I know, but it's a lot of work, and then all of those, and very polite, but all of those cows and very little people. And they mean this in a polite way. Well, señorita, it's not that funny a matter whatsoever. No, it's not funny whatsoever. Sargento, do you know why No, I don't know.
I don't know, Padre. I love my cattle. I love my horses. I love my vino. That's another story.
He's a good man, most of the time. Yes, but you see, he said this. He spent so much time here alone that he would actually did not have a chance to marry in life. And we missionaries were concerned about the men under our command. But he had a brother, is that right? A brother?
Yes, I had sweethearts. Oh, a brother, yes.
A brother. I'm sorry, my hearing doesn't work as well. I thought I said sweet. You said sweetheart or something.
Brother, right.
Brother, that's right. It's my hearing. You have to forget that. Go ahead, please, Doctor. Let's hear about your brother for a moment. Let's hear your brother and all those.
Well, my whole family, my brothers and my father, they were soldiers, Spanish soldiers. And we came out here when we came to California. My brother, Luis, was a Presidio soldier down in San Diego. Unfortunately, when he passed away, he was the last of my closest relatives in this area, but he left a son, or not a son, it was a grandson, Emmanuel Dominguez. And since he was my closest relationship before I got sick and all that, I willed the rancho to Manuel. And he's the one that started the Adobe here in 1826, 24.
You look very well for someone who has passed on. I get a little worried when we talk about the future of death.
Padre is always trying to save me. I don't know why, I don't know why, Padre, I got you to California, but I can't promise you I can get you to heaven.
Or
at least I don't know if I'll be there.
Well, what is it? How did you say it before, friend? What did you say? About something about getting me here, but not what...
It is my duty, Padre, to get you to Alta California.
Yes.
But I can't promise you I can get you to heaven. That's what you have to do. My job is done.
It is my concern of these men, these soldiers here. But as you can see the hides here, A lot of this is, pretty sure that about the high, as I mentioned, I can do it this time, the cattle. The cattle here, we would use them for many things. Once we would use them for meat. We would do. Oh, hello, ouch! Come back here for a moment. Forgive me when my clothes do this. I'm getting older. At my age, everything goes wrong with me. I'm almost 297. I look pretty good, don't I? But I drink water, not vino. Or Gino, yes.
The cattle, that's a good point to bring up. You know, I had thousands of head of cattle, and it was a major income for me. Does anybody have an idea of what we did with the cattle out in California? Does anybody know? Sir? Hide. Well, what were the hides used for?
Shoes.
Leathers.
We would export thousands of cow hides from the coast of San Pedro and Los Angeles and all that. A lot of our merchants that come in to buy them were British. A lot of Yankees from Boston will come and buy the hides because you make belts, shoes, harnesses for the horses and all that. It was a big demand for it, especially in Europe, because people needed shoes in Europe. The leather was hard to come by. Here in California, the hides here, these big old cattle hides, we call them plata de vaca, the silver cow. Do you know why we call those silver cows? This is a silver cow right here. That was our money. It was worth 1 silver peso. Anywhere from 1 to 3 pesos was the value of a hide. So when I had 30,000 head of cattle, and even more so, that's a lot of money back then, in those times. So I did pretty good for a man that drank vino.
So we're talking about Gino, yes. I meet this Gino. I've not seen him.
But the hides, we didn't waste nothing on the cattle. Everything that was used, the horns, you could make spoons out of, drinking cups, you could make buttons out of the horns. The meat, you consumed it with the local community, the population. You could dry it and make it into a carne saco, a jerky that would last for days and weeks.
Very good, huh?
We didn't waste nothing.
But you notice, the sergeant's talking about here in the ranchos and the missions, there was a lot of work. We were always working. There was always things to do. But we needed to learn to enjoy ourselves, we did not. Hey, if you would have come in here earlier, you saw Sergeant Dominguez. He was being very polite with his friends and teaching them a game. Oh, you're confiscating the game. I see. He's a proper man. He makes sure there is no gambling that goes on in the mission.
No gambling.
And I trust him a great deal for that. But there are other things that we learn from the peoples here. You see, we try to learn from them as well. And many of you are born of California. One of the things we would learn from them is a little music. This was given to me by one of the natives at the Gabrielenos, the Tonbas, over at San Gabriel Mission. He is the son of the chief there. And he even taught me a little. May I share a little with you? Let me see. I call that the Padre Blues, yes. But we learned a lot from the people here, and we remember when we had the cows came here, they came from Spain, but there was another commodity that came from Spain as well. It was chickens. Yes, anyone like chicken as well? When I was a boy, when I was a small boy back in Mallorca, my mama used to cook this chicken, and it smelled so good. If I was sleeping in my bed, it would pick me up, float me out of the kitchen, and into where it was cooking. and Mama used to tell me this. She said, "My son Miguel, She goes, for you, I put a little herb, a little spice, and a whole lot of love in it for you, my son. Huh? She's a good mama. Good mama. But